Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing on mitigating evolving malware threats and the strategies for the cyber protection. So what can we do to protect the infrastructure, the network or the cyber stuffs that we use in our day-to-day lives? So then we'll be covering introduction, that what is it, what exactly cyber protection means, then the research and findings, the identified malware types, operational mechanisms of identified malware, mitigating techniques, like the mitigation techniques, and rationale for selected techniques, and conclusion in the end. Let's start with the introduction. So, right now, as we know, cyber attacks or the cyber threats are changing, are always changing. So, as much as the technology goes on developing, it will be it will increase the threat as well. It will change the threat as well. So this talk will like examine the countermeasures for newly discovered malwares in day-to-day life to improve the online safety. So let's start with it. So what research and findings have we done? So in this, the we have discovered a variety of new malware threats that are occurring right now in our day-to-day life. So the first one is the IoT botnets, then the fileless malware, the RAAS, the ransomware service attack, then the polymorphic malware, zero day exploit, and form jacking. So I'll just explain you guys about this in detail right now. So these are the let's start on the identified malware types. So fileless malware. So it uses your system memory to execute a malicious code directly. So it will just run a code throughout the system, and even the antivirus in your system, it is a very less possibility that it can detect it. So it is extremely dangerous, and the opponent becomes stealthy, and it is an undetectable disk footprint. So this can be a big problem to you, or like for anyone who's using the technology right now. So the next one is the ransomware as a service attack. So this provides simple to use tools to cyber criminals, so they can launch a ransomware attack. So this is just they'll get into your system, they'll get your data, then they'll ask you for some ransom. So this is how it continues. And the polymorphic malware, so it changes the code structure frequently. So if just for an example, if some part of the code is on a different place in one code, then it'll keep on changing on every instance. So it alters the signatures, it makes defense mechanisms for itself that becomes statically useless for our system, and this can affect in a bad way. So zero day exploits, what are zero day exploits? So it focuses on structure on software applications like vulnerabilities before patches or mitigation methods are available. It uses an element of surprise to get around the established security protocols. Form jacking. Form jacking is an online payment forms in attempt to obtain sensitive data like your credit card number. So just one example, if you go on a fake website, you enter your details, all that will be recorded in somewhere within the database of some website. So all this data can be is shared by you, and this poses a great risk for like financial firms or financial institutions and the reputation of them as well. So just in case if someone creates a fake website of a bank, then the and you put in your card numbers over there, all the data will be go to the hackers, and they can get into your account pretty easily. So the next one is cryptojacking. So it utilizes the computer resources of the victims to mine cryptocurrency covertly. So it can take out your cryptocurrency, and it has effect on your system performance and raises operating expenses. So IoT botnets is the next one. So it utilizes the Internet of Things devices to launch into the DDoS attack, and it poses a risk to the online services and the wider infrastructure. So it can affect your whole network infrastructure just because of the IoT botnets attack. So the operational mechanisms of identified malware. So let's start with the fileless. So as I told you, it utilizes your system memory to its advantage to avoid file-based detection. seriously endangering established cybersecurity protocol. So it can, and like it can go through the cybersecurity protocols that have been assigned to particular company or particular organization, and it utilizes the system memory itself, so it doesn't need a lot of memory to run itself. Next one is the ransomware attack. This makes it possible for ransomware attacks to proliferate, giving hackers more access and complexity. So it's just the ransomware attack, and like they'll ask you for money after the attack is done on you. So, and the next one is the polymorphic malware, which changes the code on the fly and making signature based detections impossible, and requiring behavior based identification techniques. So just in case your computer is opened by your fingerprints or like any kind of eye scanning or something, so it can, I'm saying it can, like it doesn't happen always. So it can, there can be an instance that uh, your signature based detections are not working and you can't get into the system. So just to be aware of that, it can be behavior identification techniques as well. So the next one is the zero day exploits. Exploit software's flaws before patches are released, so eluding conventional security measures and necessitating proactive vulnerability management. Next one is the form jacking. So it introduces a dangerous code into payment forms, jeopardizing user information and financial transactions and necessitating the implementation of strong cybersecurity protections. Cryptojacking. So stealthily mines cryptocurrency, causing a deterioration in system efficiency, are requiring proactive detection and mitigating measures. IoT botnets. So it orchestrates DDoS assaults to take advantage of IAX IoT devices, emphasizing the need for the IoT protection. So mitigation techniques. So behavior based detection (EDR), application whistling, and security awareness trainings are example of successful tactics. So these techniques can help us to lower the possibility of the cyber attacks happening on a particular organization or a particular person, just as we discussed in the University of Utah hospital cases, like just what we did exactly over there. So you can just go through those videos as well, just for the reference that how it exactly works on the network infrastructure. So let's start with the mitigation techniques. So behavior based detection, so it uses machine learning to examine behavioral patterns in order to detect and stop emerging malware attacks. It strengthens defenses against increasingly and complex and dynamic assaults. So just to explain you in a proper way, it uses machine learning techniques, like it will use the behavioral patterns, like to wave your hand in a particular way every time. I'm just giving an example. So in order to detect and stop emerging malware attacks, so it can be your fingerprint or something, but your behavioral based things cannot be, like it's a very less possibility that someone can repeat the same thing, because no one can copy you 100% correctly. Even we can't depend on the technology 100%, but it is at least 99% we can depend on it for the security. So endpoint detection and response, that is the EDR. Okay, so it provides endpoint real-time detection, assessment, and response capabilities, offers through insights and quick reaction times to reduce malware infestation. Application whistling, it limits the use of authorized applications, lowering the risk of malware attacks and other unauthorized programs. So it strengthens the security posture by limiting the use of authorized applications. Security awareness training, it reduces the human element in the spirit of malware by educating employees on cybersecurity best practices, raises an awareness on online dangers, and encourages the use of appropriate cyber hygiene. So It's just a training program which will help the users who are not related to the cybersecurity field to increase the security of the particular system or a particular user. So this is all about it, and these are the rationales for the selected techniques. So behavior based detections. So in our technology, we can implement it like just to keep the user more secure. We can help using these techniques, then the endpoint detection response and application whistling, then security awareness training. So all these are like some things that we can do to keep the data secured in our for our company or like for any other company that we are working for. And this is all about the security techniques that we can use. So conclusion, we can say that the proactive protection tactics are necessary to counter evolving cyber threats. By putting customized mitigation strategies into practice, cyber defenses are strengthened and resistance to changing threats is encouraged. So the conclusion says that we can use the necessary tactics to counter evolving the cyber threats by putting customized mitigation strategies into practice. Cyber defenses are strengthened and resistance to change threats is always encouraged. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching our video, and please do like, subscribe, and share our channel. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Have a good one.